After receiving his Master of Fine Arts from the Massachusetts College of Art, Mark Cesark left Boston for the Aspen area 10 years ago. A found object artist, Cesark creates steel wall sculptures that resemble paintings. The pieces are assembled from discarded painted metal, chosen in much the same way a painter chooses color from his palette.
I'm just always drawn to steel as a material. I also liked abstract painting for a long time, and I always liked working in kind of found objects.
This has some nice surfaces here, huh?
You're gonna strain a gut there, I think.
I'll be okay.
Well, yeah.
I think I'm just inspired by what I find, because it's kind of this constant process of looking for things and finding unique objects.
It's a little beat up, but it's got some interesting weather patterns on it, so I think I'm going to bring it, cut it up. And sometimes you never know what's underneath here. I've been finding some really interesting things underneath the armatures of the hood. So, all right. Black widow spiders on it.
No piece is the same because they're found. Everything is different, and so when I find something that it really excites me, I think that inspires me to go home and make something out of it.
It's an interesting color. It's kind of, it doesn't really have any wear to it, but it's like an interesting blue. Grab that tomorrow. Little panel there is kind of nice too.
I go to junkyards and scrap yards, recycling centers. Sometimes I'll hear about an old ranch that's selling off its property and getting rid of metal.
Stay.
I'm just looking for what interests me. Sort of painterly surfaces, things with action, markings, that sort of thing, that will kind of make an interesting piece. I want it to look like a painting, you know, to almost disguise it as a painting. When I'm out in the field and I'm spraying things, I'll look at it to determine whether it's actually worth bringing home or not. And if sometimes you'll spray something and you'll see all these colors pop out and you'll say, wow, this is really nice. I gather a lot of different surfaces, and that way I have a large palette of materials to choose from, colors and surfaces and things. And I think, and the longer I think I collect the materials, the more interesting the work becomes. A piece will start off with one or two panels, and then I just get an idea of how large the piece should be, I think, and meaning kind of like the proportion of the piece. And then just adding on and looking at it as a whole and saying, well, you know, something's not working here, and then, you know, just playing with it over time until it becomes something that just really works for me. And then once I've made that final decision you know, once I lay out all the metal and I've made the final decision that it is a piece and and I do really like it, that's when I'll start the fabrication process. it's important to me to keep the surfaces pure, and it's just something about like the pureness of the found object, and not to, you know, alter the surfaces. And the surfaces have taken years to achieve, and for me to paint on them or anything would just kind of ruin those intrinsic qualities that have just taken time, you know, so much time for them to form. And for me, that's enough. You know, and keeping the surfaces pure is definitely something that I'm not going to change. When I do finish pieces, I like to write up a history about where all the objects come from, and that way the person who either purchases a piece or views the piece can kind of get an understanding of that whole process of where the objects originated from, and what may have created the surfaces, and you know, over time and nature and where. And so I usually try to do a little write-up, and because when I create the piece, I think it takes you away from all that. Like, it looks, as you said, it looks like a painting, and so it doesn't really look like scrap metal or junk metal anymore. It looks like a painting, and so I like to bring the viewer back to its origins and say, oh, okay, this is what it is, or what it was.